What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Gatnigurrio podcast, Dewaduni Zakta's podcast. Today is May 2nd, 2024, and today we are joined by the one and only Drake D'Souza. We're going to be talking about the Builders of the Future program and the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp. Welcome to the show, Drake. To start off, give us a little bit of a rundown of what your role is at Dewa.
Sure. So I've been here a little bit over 7 months now, and my role at David Zakta is the Workforce Development Coordinator. So essentially, what I do is I help to intake different potential programs, specialized trainings, and workshops, and help get the word out to the community and help structure these to make sure they're fitting within our clients' needs, our organization needs, our business needs, and really help to different community members gain these skills, this knowledge, and eventually our goal is to help them find meaningful employment, whatever that means to them.
Can you give us a brief overview of the Builders of the Future program and then the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp?
Sure. So really what we want to do today is really highlight the different achievements of these two different training programs, as you mentioned, both the Builders of the Future and the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp. We want to promote these opportunities as, we have both of our second cohorts coming up. We actually just wrapped our first year of both of these programs, as well as, speak a little bit about why we want to offer these specialized training programs. So starting off, as you mentioned, with the Builders of the Future program, this is one of our larger projects. It's a 6 to 8 month full-time program that explores different components within three trades of carpentry, electrical, and plumbing, as well as the Administrative Assistant Bootcamp. This is more of a flexible 12-week part-time program that equips participants with the essential administrative assistant skills needed for, these evolving roles within the office and for administrative professionals.
What was the motivation behind launching the Builders of the Future program?
Yeah, so the Builders of the Future program actually predates me here at David Zakta, at least the idea of it. This has been something that's been in the works for multiple years. As some of the community members may know, David Zakta helped collaborate on different carpentry programs throughout the last couple of years, and these have all led to gaining additional tradespeople, skilled tradespeople for our local contractors, as well as, whether they want to start their own businesses, work in or outside of the community. However, the two main motivational factors behind the Builders of the Future program specifically is one, as I mentioned, in the response to the need identified by these local contractors for skilled tradespeople. These trades make up a large part of our economy here in David Zakta, as well as our workforce, and we want to continue to empower and create new opportunities within the field for these individuals and for these younger students who are coming up and want to choose this industry. As well as the second main reason is the lack of accreditation. So many of our skilled tradespeople, as I mentioned, skilled is being the key word. These are very talented individuals. However, because they either learned on the job, learned through their role models within their family, or through these past carpentry programs that weren't partnered with accredited organizations. Unfortunately, this limits their opportunities when they choose either to go back to school, work on larger projects outside of the community. So we really wanted to address that for the future generation. Really, we want to establish a baseline both for those who want to return back to school, but also those who want to enter the workforce directly. We really want to keep both pathways open for the next generation coming up.
How was the curriculum developed to meet the specific needs of Ganawage residents and the local construction industry?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, we had these previous carpentry programs that served as kind of the initial phases of the development of the Builders of the Future program. So we took a lot of the feedback, both from the participants, the instructors, the contractors they wanted to work with, and we really compiled it all with the program partners, other community members, educational professionals, and really tried to combine, as I mentioned, both. We want to keep the pathways open for those to enter the workforce and return back to school. So we wanted to give everyone who participates in this program the skills needed to enter the job site and to continue to learn on the job, but also be valuable members of this team. So making sure they have all the skills necessary to contribute to these contractors, to these businesses, but also as a baseline, should they return to school, that they're comfortable with the content, they're comfortable with the instructors, and that they can continue and be successful in whatever path they choose. So this was, dating back through our carpentry program, and we really value like the years of experience that went into this. So I know it's a newer initiative, but really it's dating back years and years and pulling on expertise from very many members of the community.
That covers it for, I guess, our review of the Builders of the Future program. Looking back now, because you said we just finished the first cohort, and it was a successful one. So can you explain a little bit about that first cohort?
Absolutely. So we actually just wrapped last month, and they'll be, as of right now, they're working with some of the local contractors up until next week. And I'm happy to say that a lot of them will be continuing working with their contractors full time. So as I mentioned, one of the needs was identified from these contractors that they need more skilled tradespeople, and you can see the success of the program. They took the skills, the knowledge that they had from the classroom, both practical and theoretical, and applied it through these work placements. And now they're being rewarded for it by these contractors, taking them on full time and giving them the opportunities to continue to learn and grow outside of the classroom on the job site. Also, as we mentioned, the other pathway was to return to school, and we have a number of students who are going to be going back across the different trades. So we have some that are going into carpentry, and as you know, carpentry is a massive massive industry around here. So a lot of them who come in, it's one of the only things they were exposed to um, in the younger years, and they say, okay, carpentry is exactly what I want to do. But then they're exposed to the different electrical trades and the different competencies within plumbing, and they realize that those are very exciting opportunities as well. So a lot of them made the switch, and now they're going to be pursuing electrical full time in school, and then the different opportunities that come after that.
So yeah, they really get like a good a sort of idea of the different sort of opportunities that are out there, and some of them will find like a sort of like a new love for a different vocational program.
Absolutely. They become more and more comfortable with all the different content, the different competencies, and also with each other. I think that's another huge factor with these programs is I remember at the orientation, we had a bunch of shy individuals who were, kind of mumbling to each other, trying to figure out, who are the other people that they're going to be spending the next couple months with. And then by the end, I'm going over, they all have their inside jokes, they're laughing, grabbing lunch together. And I think that's my favorite part of these programs is watching the relationships and the community being built within the program, even if it is, seven individuals.
That's always something that's really nice to see, and you just see people sort of connecting with each other, and maybe that sort of carries on into like their professional life. They sort of can work together in the future even by building these connections. What sort of inspired the creation of this administrative assistant boot camp?
Within our community, there's an evolving needs for the organizations and the job market within the community. One of these being the growing demand for administrative professionals. And within this field, as you know, there's ever evolving technology. There's always something to keep up to date with. And we wanted to offer a flexible avenue for those who are already working within the field, those who want to transition into this industry. We know that not everyone has the schedule to commit to a full-time program, and we wanted to offer something that has the same sort of benefits and serves as that baseline knowledge similar to builders of the future to have them succeed in their job but also leave space to continue to learn on the job.
How does the program address the demand for administrative skills in Ganawage?
So this actually led to the development of the admin bootcamp directly. So one of the first steps we took was to speak to members of the community, the different organizations, pull from job descriptions, job postings to see what's actually available within the community and actually what the roles and responsibilities for these different jobs would be, and then basing the curriculum directly off of that. So this serves as kind of that firsthand experience of what they're going to be seeing, whether they're already in the job or looking to transition, move up. Really want to leave all those opportunities open for them. As I mentioned, with the flexible schedule, what that looks like in practice is we had 2-hour evening courses twice a week, both on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And actually, one added benefit that I know they really enjoyed was on Thursdays, we actually had catered sessions.
With the administrative assistant boot camp coming to a close, can you tell us a little bit how that cohort went?
Absolutely. We actually just had our closing ceremony last week. And we had, I'm happy to say, all 15 of the original participants who were selected for the boot camp, they all followed through and completed it in completion. So at the last day, we actually brought in some of the program partners. As you know, it was in the evening, so not everyone got to be there for every session. So it was good to come together towards the end and really see that community that was built there. We got some great cupcakes made with little grad caps on them. I know they were greatly appreciated. Some attestation of completion certificates for everyone who participated, as well as a completion bursary, just to honor or to show value to their dedication and commitment throughout the program, and as one final reward and thank you for participating in these initiatives that we put a lot of effort into plan, and it's great to see that it was highly appreciated. And as I mentioned, especially with the food and the different teachings and seeing the comfort level with the instructor and the feedback of them already wanting more. It really motivates me to kind of continue these sort of initiatives and continue to plan for these individuals as well as other community members who identify this as a need.
When we're taking these 2 training programs, can you compare them to the DEP programs? Like, this isn't like a speed run to a DEP, is it? Or
No. So essentially, to break down the key differences, our specialized training programs are developed to meet specific needs. So either to meet demand from different organizations or businesses or even individuals who want to pursue certain careers, as well as target certain skills. If we think the organizations are identifying a certain lack of skills within a certain industry, we can help to skill upgrade. So this leads to tailored curriculums. As I mentioned, we pulled from job descriptions and job postings, working with organizations, business owners to identify those needs. However, these boot camps aren't fully credited in the traditional sense, where they aren't getting a government recognized diploma. However, as you mentioned, it's not necessarily a fast track. However, if you combine both experience and educational background with these sort of programs, there is a process called the RAC process, which stands for the recognition of acquired competencies. And essentially, what this does is it pulls off your previous experience, even if it's not in a traditional educational sense. So if it's not, at a post-secondary school or at a vocational school, if you already have these skills that you would acquire through these classes, you can be consulted with. You can consult with a professional to see if your skills would translate into what they deem passable credits within their organization and to acquire these different competencies. And if you meet that threshold, then you can actually shorten the amount of time or completely bypass the diploma and get your credits.
oh, wow. Okay, wow, that's see that, everyone? Really, like, pay attention to these, because this is very important information, and some people don't ask these questions right away or don't think of them, and that's okay. That's what we're here for. What advantages do these specialized programs offer to participants?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, the key one is being a flexible schedule. We know with different family situations, full time jobs, not everyone can commit. So this really offers that flexibility, but it also serves as a trial if you do want to go back to school. If you're thinking about it but you can't commit just yet, you can use this to kind of build that comfort. Many individuals, they've been out of the classroom for a number of years, and it might be intimidating to go back, especially if you have to travel outside of the community and it's full time or different hours. This serves as a way to build community right here. It was hosted in our building at David and Izakta, and you build a comfort with the other students, you build a network, you build a comfort with the instructor, you get used to the content, and then that way it seems a little bit less intimidating if you want to go and complete your full time DEP or different vocational diploma at one of these centers. So for this one specifically, we partnered up with NFSB and to they're hosted at Nova, so our neighbors next door in Chateauguay. Yeah, it's not too far away, but it still might be intimidating for some individuals, and this helps just serve as a little pathway back to school.
Yeah, there's a comfort level when taking a program that it's located right within the community. You're doing it with people you're doing it in like a familiar territory type of thing. So I can definitely see like that as being just like one of the benefits right there. It's right home in the community. What are the plans for the future of these specialized training programs?
To start with the two that we already spoke about, the Builders of the Future application is currently open and will remain open until June 14th. So information about this program is available on our website as well as social media. My information should be attached to all of that. So if you guys want to contact me, feel free and I'll get back to you. Likely even the day of. I like talking about these programs. They've become very close to home for me. So if you ever want information, I'm glad to share it, as well as the administrative assistant boot camp. So we're aiming for another fall cohort. We're going to allow the summer to really break down that feedback and maybe rework some aspects of the program based on the need, based on the feedback of the individuals who participated, the instructors, as well as the organizations that are hiring or that these individuals are already working at. We would also like to develop more programs and initiatives, and the summer is a great time to do this. We know that committing a lot of your time throughout the summer may not be the most attractive for most. So we really like to have them available during the fall and winter, and then the summer we can use to develop and really brainstorm new and exciting and innovative programs. So I also, instead of also just being kind of reactive and going based on need, I would also like to be a little bit more proactive and to assist in the training for future opportunities, based on expansion, innovation within the community. Really develop these training programs, before these opportunities are arising to help fill them based on being proactive rather than reactive. And then also through our existing programs that we've developed, both Builders of the Future, Administrative Assistant Bootcamp, and others, we've developed a number of great working relationships, both inside and outside of the community, that can serve as partners in these programs and bring knowledge, experience, and opportunities to these participants for these programs as well as future programs.
How does Deweduni Zakta engage with the community to identify like any of these like training needs that we've seen through like builders and the admin boot camp?
Yeah, so we really try to highlight the feedback from program participants, the community, and different educational institutions to identify, current trends in education in the job market, looking at our organizations right here in the community and breaking down what they will need. But also, meeting with the businesses and organizations, really understanding those future opportunities, really just to know what's going on and making it in the most flexible and accommodating way possible. I'm also very open to creating open channels for input from the community that could lead to potential structures or development of these programs. It's kind of how the administrative assistant bootcamp came up, as I mentioned, and we've seen what it turned into, and we'd like to continue that going. And if any other ideas come up, we can definitely explore those as well.
Yeah, for sure. We're always looking for feedback. We take the community's feedback and we definitely try to provide any sort of answers to what the community is asking for. So I think that kind of that covers just about everything for today. Great to see all this hard work that you're putting in, we see it every day, but it's nice, that the community is going to hear about all this hard work that you're putting into to get these programs running and put together and have them run well, making sure that the participants are well fed, and then they're getting all the information they need and they're in the right hands. And if you're thinking of applying for Builders of the Future or for a future administrative assistant boot camp or any sort of program like that, and Drake is running it, just know you're in good hands and you'll be taken
You
care
will
of.
be well fed both mentally and physically. Absolutely.
100%. All right, well that wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming on to the show, Drake.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yes. All right. So that concludes this week's episode of Gatni Rio, the Deweduni Zakta podcast. I'm your host, Emmett Hamlin, and we'll see you soon.